Hello, this is Jake and welcome back to another video on my building channel on YouTube. Today I got something very exciting to show you. We've hit a massive milestone on HMHS Britannic. In case you've missed it, HMHS Britannic is a Billings boat kit I'm building that was actually intended to be Titanic. The kit comes as Titanic. So I'm building it as Titanic's sister, Britannic, because Britannic is actually my favourite ship. Growing up, I was actually more into Britannic and finding out the history about that. But like I said, we've hit a massive milestone. I've hit a massive milestone. All the work you're going to see is done by me. And it's mainly to do with A, B and C deck. But also some of the other details to the hull, sealing the hull and everything like that. So what I'm going to do, it's behind me, I'm in the kitchen, it's a massive model, it's 1/144 scale, which is, to give you an idea, it's to scale with N-gauge model railways, if that helps, which we'll talk about in a minute, something to do with that. But it's a massive model, 6 feet long, and yeah, let's go and show you. So please excuse the messy dining room, but there she is. And when I say we've hit a massive milestone, well, first of all, look at the hull. Now, the hull is actually sealed with, I'll show you the tin in a minute, but yeah, the hull is sealed, which was a massive step forward. You can see a lot behind the strips here, the fill-in, wood filler, stuff like that, to make sure we'd have no leaks. And then it's been coated over with this sealant, and that should help out a lot. Then I got to go over it a second time, well, third time, because I gave it 2 coats, a third time to cover the strips then to make them completely sealed. So that's hopefully, that'll be done next week, hopefully. But you can see a few details done, like doors, and of course they got to be all over the hull as well, but I just focused on the deck here for now. Because it's smooth, I got to do some cutting into the strips. But it gives you an idea, it shows you all the portholes. Still unsure if I'm going to actually separately paint. I'm not going to drill it, but I'm going to separately paint the portholes once the entire ship is painted. And of course, this is going in the hospital livery that Britannic was in when she went down back in 1916 during World War I. And you can see the modifications to the poop deck. There you go. Still a lot of work to do to this area, filling, sanding, stuff like that. But I did give it a coat of paint just as its first coat. It'll have a second coat. And hopefully that'll be enough. And then we can start focusing on the edges. Inside here as well has got to be done. And this side had a little bit of a too much trim. I don't know if you can see. So we've got to do a bit of work to the edge there. But easily done. And then this area will be built as a separate part, because this is going to be able to be lifted off to gain access to our servo, which is down in there. The on and off switch goes down in there as well. However, I'm going to be moving the on and off switch to inside the hull. I've done a bit of repair here. However, it got knocked overnight, so I got to take that piece out and do it again. Now, you do get the right strips to go across here. During the build, I actually put some planks in, sealed them in and everything, because basically I could not get the actual strip to fit properly. I might have messed up somewhere, but you know me by now. I made a lot of mistakes building models. So I'm just going to re-drill the portholes, plus they're a little bit different to Titanic anyway, so it means I can get them accurate, because I know I'll be picked up on it at some point, like that porthole was not supposed to be there. So I thought, we can sort that. Also, there's a strip, a band that goes across the ship and around the stern here to the other side. Now you see I fitted this piece of wood here. This will be sanded down, so it'll look a lot smaller than that once sanded. All smooth though. Like I said, a lot of filler usually here. Yes, I know I'm going to have people saying that's not going to hold, that will leak. I'm pretty confident. Plus, when the paint goes on, that's also going to give it another seal. So, yeah, time will tell with that. And like I said, I got to do parts here. This is a sealed area, so this can't be removed now. So, I made sure I painted the walls inside. They probably could have done with another coat, looking at that, but it's done now. And I do wish I probably put 1 or 2 benches down in here. Yes, I've fitted benches now. So these are, like I said earlier, N gauge is the same scale as this model of Britannic. So I bought some Pico N gauge benches, and I gave them a nice coat of brown and then some gold legs. This one just needs touching up on the side. I can still see a bit of the green, but there you go. There's another there. There's a few dog hairs. I do apologise for that. This section's actually been on the floor for a while now, so this all lifts off, and I'll show you that in a second. These pillars have been put in. They actually tell you to use brass wire. I just used toothpicks because I didn't want to be threading the wire. It was just easier at the time, and they look fine. And remember, this is all going to be covered up as well. This is your main deck. This is B deck. If I'm wrong, if this is not B deck, strike me down. But I believe this is B deck. All the windows are done. Now, someone did ask about lights quite a while back. I am actually going to be putting lights in this. It's not priority at the moment, but I will be putting some strip lights in. So you'll be able, all the windows will be lit up, basically, and it'll look pretty cool. And it'd be nice actually to do a run on the pond at night. Now, there's a few areas you can see that still need painting, like down here, a bit of white there. I will do it. I will get around to that. And then hopefully, I was going to put the sides on, and I thought, no, let's not rush this. Beams is still open. This is glued, by the way, now. So these two decks are now combined together, which has been a long time coming, but yeah, they're fitted. But I made sure I painted all the walls, put all the doors on and everything like that, like these little brass doors in there. There you go. So I made sure all the windows, brass doors were done, benches. I will be fitting people. I'm going to try and pick up as many as I can tomorrow from Graham Farish, which again is N-Gauge Model Railways, 144. And I will put a load of people in, even though you won't be able to see them too well, but when people look down at the details of the ship, you will see some people. So it's a nice little detail to do. Beams are still open. Let's get that done. Talking about the top deck, this is not fitted yet, but this will be fitted later on today. It's one of the last top bits to be fitted. This one's now been fitted as well, and obviously you have your funnels, whatever. You've got your staircases, grand staircase going in there, even though it wasn't so grand on the Britannic, because they removed the clock and everything. And there's a few pieces here. Now, of course, Britannic had different modifications on here to Titanic, and I will address them. However, at the moment I'm just trying to get as much of the buildings done, the structure done, then we can start looking at that. Of course, giant davits, something I'm still working on how I'm going to do that, but we'll get to that when we get to that. This part of the ship is pretty much done, just adding windows now really, but I'm not going to add the windows until I finish the sides off, and then I'll work my way up. The bridge I did make a little bit of a mess up on because Britannic had a curved bridge, not a square bridge. And now with the wheelhouse where that is, I think it was a curved front. So yeah, something that obviously Titanic had different. And again, I could have fitted the front to the bridge here, but I want to put some people in, so it looks like we got either the captain or someone in the front of the ship. And talking about that piece, let me just grab it for you guys. I'm doing this all in one shot really. It goes something like that. So that'll be fitted at some point. Hopefully get it fitted by the end of this week, and that will transform the ship, especially with the sides on. I probably will paint the sides, give them a light coat, but of course they probably will need a bit of sealant. Even though that part of the ship's not going into water, when the paint's put on the sealant down here, it might, because this top half's not being painted, it might slightly show a little bit. So we'll sort that out. So yeah, we'll get some of the smaller structures done, and then we'll start addressing the changes that Britannic had to Titanic. But front's looking good now. These doors still need to be painted, windows need to be put in. Little details like the faux sweat stairs, ladders, stuff like that, they're all going to be done as soon as the first test is done. I'm not planning on doing them anytime soon. I want to get the first running test. As soon as we get this top half done, and the chimneys or funnels, I know I said chimneys that, the funnels, once we get the funnels done, that's when we can start looking at, right, let's get the electrics in, make sure it's all sealed, and we will go for our first test. Then we can actually ballast it up, get it in the right water line and all that stuff, make sure it's completely buoyant in the water. So the strips are looking good. I've actually made a start today on the other side, and hopefully get this side done this week. One side took about a week to do. Obviously I got other stuff going on, so I'm not fully committed to this every day, but they've all been stuck really well. Just using PVA glue. There'll be sealant over the top, like I said, and then painting. The main coat will be white, then we'll do the water line, bottom half red, then address the stripes, the green and red, the red crosses and the green stripes. And like I said, there will be lighting on here eventually as well. So I'm going to pause the video now and take the top half off and show you inside the hull. Okay, before we just have a look in the hull, I've started fitting some of the details to the bow there now, anchor points, stuff like that. Still some parts to finish on the hull here. That can be done today actually. I'll get that sorted, get that finished, and then we got to drill the ovals for the anchors. I will probably not put working anchors in. I did look at it, but to be honest, I'm never going to use them. It's not a gimmick I think this model needs. Something I suppose you could look at, fitting 2 small servos down here or something. I did actually put this piece in here, piece of board there, just in case we ever looked at that. Maybe have some electrics there, but yeah, not looking at that at the moment. But I've started fitting details here, so that's good. And the hatches, everything you see painted on the top deck is a base coat, so they will be repainted and everything, like fillings here where the wood chipped off when we're moving parts. I wasn't taking too much care and damaged some of the wood, as you can see. So all stuff like that will get sorted, addressed, and we'll go from there. So inside the hull, so this has all been painted in varnish first of all. The actual inside the planks here, inside the slats. Then I've gone over it with this wood adhesive stuff here to seal it. Then I cut these 2 in. Now, you probably know what these are for, but if you don't, this is where the batteries are going. So there's 2 batteries going in the ship. However, only one will be used. But the idea is 2 batteries put in, use one. If that battery ever runs out, we can just plug the other in, but always have 2 in there just to help with buoyancy and all that stuff. Our receiver, it says ECU, but our receiver's going here. This is our rudder. That will plug in like so. We did talk about using it like a tank, and we probably will if the rudder shows that it's not effective enough. But for now, we're looking at using the rudder to see how we go, just for testing and everything. So receiver there. ECUs are going down here, you can see that, so they will have their own little shelves to go on down here. This will all be tidied up where the electrics are going, so it looks a bit more presentable. But at the same time, I'm actually going to be painting inside all of these, because I could see light through some of the planks. Now, doesn't mean there's gaps there. Just means because the sealant's transparent and the wood might shrink because it's been in the warm. Yeah, we'll just paint it and we'll see where we go from there. Motors, there's our 2 Carson Poison motors. They have been tested, all working with the shafts. The shafts are all now connected. And then the props will be put on the ends, of course. There's not a center propeller that's going to work on this model. However, it will be there. So that's not going to happen. Other than electric, smoke generator is going to go roughly down here. I did think more here actually. We'll put a smoke generator, then I can start adding the brass piping, and we'll go up to where the funnels are going to be, the 3 funnels. Even though the 4th funnel does not smoke and did not in real life, there will be a smaller pipe going up the side of the funnel that might have been used for, I don't know, extracting something out of the ship, so there'd be a bit of smoke coming out that one as well. I think it just added a little bit more to the realism, instead of just having 3 funnels smoking away and the one just being completely nothing coming out of it. So I thought if we have a pipe right at the back of the actual funnel, just a very fine piece of tubing and a little bit of smoke coming out, that'd just be some extractor for something on the ship. I believe the morgue, it's got to go on the back here as well, so something we got to look at. But back to inside the hull. There you go. That's what she looks like. You can see some of the fillers come through. But like I said, this has been varnished and undercoat or sealant. I will have a look what that's called in a second. But yeah, so it's sealed inside. We're painting. Hopefully no paint to go through. When I put the sealant on, there was actually no sealant dripping underneath or leaks. So that's a good sign. Obviously, I can't get to the stern. I probably should have sealed that inside there before I stuck this all together. But I'm very hopeful that that is sealed. Same for the bow down there. One thing I am going to do is put slots in here. So if we ever have a leak, not that it'd be enough water to come in to get all the way to here, but might just raise this slightly. Somewhere in the middle here as well. And then down here. So if we ever do have leaks and there's water coming in and we don't realise, it's a safety net. However, there would never be enough water coming in to go over a certain height unless it was in the water for a very, very long time. So I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, that is where we are at with my HMHS Britannic. So yes, it is fully RC. A lot of people have asked me, is it going to be RC? Yes, it's fully RC. This will be in the water within the next month, end of March, early. I'm not going to put a date on it because I always put a date on it, and So yeah, let's just say end of March. Fingers crossed. Might have its very first test in the water. But yeah, I actually think my dog wants to go out. You saying hello to my YouTubers? Or you just want to go outside? And there's Bella. So there we have it. There is the lovely Britannic. So if anyone has questions, please just ask. I will be taking this over to Mike's at some point to have a look at electrics and transmitters and everything like that, because there's a lot going on. Not too much, but like I want a smoke generator on a switch, as well as possibly sound in the future and lights and that. So yeah, I want to thank you all for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more on my lovely HMHS Britannic. Fully RC, like I said, 6 feet long and coming together very nicely now. We're hopefully having it in the water by the end of March for first testing, so please do subscribe if you do want to see that. But I'm actually going to crack on with some work on it now, some things I want to get sorted. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.